What's up everyone, it's just Blaze89. Today we're going to be doing the best class setup for the M60 LMG in Modern Warfare Remastered. Before we get into that, I've got some shout outs to give. As I've said before, I appreciate all of you for subscribing to me, it means a lot. I appreciate the support. I'm trying to give some support back to you lot by giving shout outs to people who have subbed to me and request one. So if you could go and check these people out, I'd really appreciate it. And I'm sure that they'd be willing to help you grow if you're willing to help them grow. If it's worth a try, let's help each other. You know, it's no need to be selfish. If we can help each other grow, it's beneficial to us all. So go check these guys out. There's Nero Dre, Abraham Lopez, epicsmash, and also check out Dwight542 and WBSMOKE. When you check out WBSMOKE, be sure to add him on Twitch as well, because I was watching his stream the other night and I was sat there for a good hour watching it. He's really kept me entertained and he's good to watch. Just check him out on Twitch, check him out on YouTube, and check out these other guys as well. Now let's get into the class setup. Now this gun, the grind to get the red dot sight was horrible, because I think the iron sights on this gun is possibly the worst iron sights on any gun in any Call of Duty. It doesn't just obstruct your view, it's not a clear sight to aim with either, and it's just horrible. Until you get the red dot sight, it is horrible to use. But once you get the red dot sight, things become a lot easier and the gun becomes a lot more better to use. I would also point out, it does take a little while to get used to the recoil on this gun, but once you do get used to it, you can really get some mega high scores. I mean, I got one of my highest team deathmatch scores on this game in this gameplay, which is this gameplay here. I go for 40 kills on team deathmatch and the score limit's only 75, so obviously that means that I got 40 kills and the rest of my team only got 35, and that's just how effective this gun can be when you get used to using it. So we'll get into the class setup. I'll stop rambling on and I'll tell you how to use the gun once we've gone through the class setup. The attachment we're going for is the red dot sight. Now in an ideal world we would have a grip on this due to the recoil, but like I say, the iron sights are horrible, so I really recommend throwing the red dot sight on there. You could have ACOG if you want, but I'm not a huge fan of the ACOG. I'm just not. I've said it in my other videos. But if you do like the ACOG, this is a suitable gun to use it on as well, because of the fact that we are going to be attaching claymores to this, because it's a gun that you can camp with. It's probably best used for camping or playing at a medium to long range. It is effective at close, but we'll keep it medium to long where we can. So as I was saying, we're going to have the red dot sight. Perk one's going to be the claymores. I've said before with the claymores, when you're laying these down, they're mainly going to act more as an early warning than they are as a kill. They will get you kills, but don't bank on them to get you kills. Mainly rely on them as your early warning. If you see the hit marker go off on the screen, or you hear it go, you know someone's approaching your position, you can turn around, take them down. Perk 2 we're going to have on this gun is going to be double tap. The reason for that is that its only real weakness when you look at it, other than, as I say, the recoil, which isn't too bad once you get used to it and use it properly, is the fact that it's got a very slow fire rate. Obviously that fire rate is to try and compensate for the fact that it's got pretty bad recoil, but we're going to go with double tap so that we can get the bullets down range faster and just melt people. You'll see as we go. Now, because we're having double tap, I've got to remind you, we've got to be tapping that trigger only short bursts, just short bursts of fire. 2 seconds tops. You just want to keep it short bursts, unless you're in close, in which case feel free to spray away. But for the most part, short bursts, you can keep that accuracy on. You don't have to have a long gap between the bursts. You can literally just go da 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 da. And that's, I'm not doing Morse code there, by the way. That's the sort of example I'm giving you for the sort of way you want to be firing with this gun, and you'll see you really can do some damage. Perk 3 we're going to go for, I've gone for steady aim, just so if we do get caught on the hop up close, we have got some accuracy. You can see the crosshairs go quite small there when you stood still, and steady aim is always useful to have for up close. If you wasn't going to go steady aim because you don't intend to be getting up close to anyone and you plan on camping and doing things from range, then you could always go deep impact, so that way you're benefiting from the fact of the recoil on this gun. If it does jump into the wall or wherever, you know, just below the windowsill, if you're aiming at someone in a window or whatever, then it's going to carry that damage through the wall and you can just melt people that are camping on you from the other end of the map. So just go through that again. We're going with red dot sight, claymores. You could have bandolier on this, but I didn't see it as being necessary because you've got like 200 bullets, so you can do pretty much everything you need to do with that amount of ammo. odds are you're not going to run out of ammo with it. But it's up to you. But we're going claymores. Perk 2 we're going for double tap, and then perk 3 is steady aim. Sidearm doesn't really matter on this class setup because we don't intend to be switching much, and we've got 100 bullets before we have to reload, so as long as you don't be a retard and reload in the middle of a gunfight, then you should be fine. Because you have to remember with the LMGs, they are slow to reload, so get yourself tucked away somewhere when you have to reload, get it done, and then pop back out. Now, in terms of how we're going to play with this gun, as I said, we're going to be playing with it mainly in a kind of campy way. On this map, I always recommend using those little disc lid things from the missile silos. They're always worth standing on. You can pretty much spawn trap them in the hangars a lot of the time when you get up on them, and you can use them for good cover as well, so it's always useful to do that if you're on this map. But in maps on general with this gun, I wouldn't recommend running and gunning due to the accuracy. I would recommend that you do operate mainly for medium to long range, and to be honest, I'd probably say kind of camp. You know, a lot of people moan about camping, but to be honest with you, if you do well, what does it matter? I'm not saying sit in a building and point your gun at the doorway of the building and camp like that. I don't mean that when I say camping. I mean get to, a bit like sniping, get to yourself to a point where you can have a nice long line of sight and just use it and just spray down everyone. You will lock down the entire area with this gun. But remember, as I said earlier, burst fire. Don't hold the trigger down for more than a couple of seconds because your bullets ain't going to hit him. You're going to be looking like you're painting a picture around the dude, drawing an outline. It ain't going to happen for you if you're going to hold it down and just spray it like a bullet hose. You can obviously spray it like a bullet hose, but as I said before, you've got to leave that little gap between bursts, just that split second gap to let the accuracy stay there. If you don't have that gap and burst fire it, it won't be accurate enough and you'll have a real frustrating time with the gun. As long as you do use burst fire and you try and keep things medium to long range, as I say, you can be close range, it is effective, but you're going to be a little bit slower than the enemy is, and you're also going to be a little bit slower to bring the gun down the sights. So you want to be thinking about it if you're in close. You want to make sure you're aiming down the sights before you turn the corners. And that's another tip as well. If you are moving around and running and gunning with any class really, you want to be stopping when you get to corners and walking round corners, because if you run round a corner, it takes you longer to get your sights aimed, or it takes you longer to get the bullets off, which gives you a better chance of the enemy killing you. You don't want that, so when you come to turn a corner, if you're on a map, you're going into a building, or you turn a corner anywhere on a map, you want to remember to just slow down and walk. So as I say, this setup's mainly for camping from a range, not camping in a building, a doorway. Don't do that, no one likes that. But if you want to do that, I suppose it's up to you. We all paid our money for the game. If people have a problem with it, they should find a way to get you out the building and stop feeding you by going for revenge kills. Anyway, check out the score, 40 kills TDM. I was really chuffed with that. Thanks for the viewing the video. If you'd want to shout out the next video, let me know. Leave a like if you liked the video. Subscribe for more. Peace.